Hello and welcome to Microsoft Access at Brookings High School. Today we're going to be looking at the notes for 3.01. So it's an introduction to Microsoft Access. And so to get there, we were going to be opening up a PDF in your Schoology account. And that account is, the assignment is 3.01. And as I go through the PowerPoint, I would like you to fill in this PDF. And so you can go back and watch through it if you need to. All right, so going with that, we're going to go open the PowerPoint, and it's database 3.0. So what is a database? It's a collection tool so that we can organize data. It's a way for storing and retrieving, printing reports, and the database, kind of the old thought is that it's like a file cabinet that holds multiple records. Some examples. One we don't use much anymore, but telephone books. A library card catalog, those are all online and stored now. Maybe your own CD, DVD collection. Advantages of it. Once you get it set up, it is so much faster to go through this. You have files, you have records, you have fields, and you have entries. The files are all the records. The record is a group of related field information, so everything in one row is a record. So you can see the difference between Excel and Access is that the row is now a record, and then the field is one item or bit of information in a record, and then we have the entry or data and formulas that are typed. And here just showing some of the different things and where they're located. So rows represent the records. Each cell holds an entry, and then we have the file name is represented as a file. Columns represent the fields. So steps for designing database, plan and design. It's really important that we think ahead. What do we need to have? What are we looking for as an end result? And then start with that in mind before we even create it. So we have to plan and then design it, determine the fields, determine the size of the fields, and determine the type. Purpose of the database is the plan and design step. Include all fields necessary to ensure efficient sorting. So first thing you're going to do is open a blank database field. So now the version we have, they've changed so that we no longer have the custom web app first. We have the blank desktop database, and that's what we'll use. Determine the database file name. So what's it going to be called? And then the database programs assign specific file extensions to saved files. So it might be MDB. I recommend you save this to your Google Drive when you go to save it. One method available for creating a new database table in this application, you click on the view and you'll see we have the pencil, we have the square, we have the ruler. So this is the design tool icon that's showing there. That's the one that we would be going to. So when we are now in the design view, it's setting this up because we have to design first. We're going to be putting in our field name. In this case, we're calling it last name, and then we're going to decide what do we want to have behind that. Well, last name is text. We will always use short text for ours. We will not use the long text. Then you see the other choices that are there. Save the table with an appropriate file name. And then set a primary key if multiple tables in a database will be related to each other. So a primary key, this is a default when it opens up. There is a primary key. It means you cannot have any duplicates. And so if we look on this next slide, this right here is showing this gold key. We also see it over here. That's the primary key. So we'd click here to get rid of it if we needed to. So in this case, we're talking about an ID. In this case, we're going to be giving it an auto number so that it will automatically assign the number. But if it wasn't an automatic one, we'd be putting a number in there. We might be entering social security numbers or VIN numbers, product numbers, so like for stores, something like that. Okay, so this is still in design view. This is where we're going to be creating and designing our record, our database. Now we go into data sheet view. So that's what's saying right here, data sheet view. It's where we will be doing the data entry. We're entering these in. Now I really recommend that you go from left to right when you're filling it in. Don't go down and then go to the next column because, well, now it's going to be called a field instead of a column, because Access likes to sort things. That's what Access is really good at. So you might go down here, and if you had a stop, you might come back and it might be alphabetized now. And so then whatever you did down here, you'd have to look very closely at each new field to see, well, to make sure it goes along with the right one. So fill it in left to right. That way you can just tab over, hit return, it'll come back over here, and just tab each entry. When you go to close it, you'll click on the file, use the menu command of File Close, or click the Close button, and it prompts you, asks if you want to save it. Then you need to close any open files. There's other input devices, so smartphones, tablet PCs, speech recognition, and there we go. So that was just the very beginning of introducing you to a database design, and hopefully that will help you be ready for getting started. Thank you.